Happy Monday, everybody. We got a lot of pop culture news, reality TV news to roast and recap. So grab a beverage. Hopefully you're wearing something very, very comfy. Smash that like, you guys, and we have to get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian and pop culture vulture Joleen Lunzer here for another No Offense, All Offense, where we roast and recap. We take a comedic look at pop culture news, trending topics, reality TV shows, things we love to hate, things we hate to love. Remember, this is for comedic purposes only. Everything I say is true, except for the parts that are false.
Allegedly.
And I am very opinionated, but that doesn't mean you have to have the same opinion. You are welcome to sound off in the live chat, and we can just agree to disagree.
That's my opinion!
But remember that I am a well-respected journalist. I'm not. With a lot of reality TV and superstar, super famous fans who think I'm excellent.
I heard actually mixed reviews on Joleen.
Joleen was excellent. What are they saying?
What are they saying? I'm excellent. What is going on? So happy Monday, you guys. Hopefully, wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful day. We have a lot to talk about today, so I am very excited. Apologies. Sometimes my StreamYard and my YouTube, they're not communicating properly, and I'm trying to be organized and set my lives up ahead of time. And then for some reason, my change in time for today's live didn't go through. So a lot of you were waiting here at 11:30. So I apologize for wasting your time. I know your time is very valuable. And thank you for sticking around and coming back. All right. So thank you. I see you guys all in the chat. You know the drill. Smash that like if you haven't already. Please subscribe. We're on our way to 50K. 2025, we're looking for 50,000 subscribers. You guys, we hit 40,000 last year, which I never thought was possible. And we're already well on our way to 50,000. So share me with your friends, family, enemies, anyone that you think would enjoy or not enjoy this channel. Feel free to share away. If you want to support the channel further, you can always consider joining my YouTube membership where you get bonus content and emojis. Also Patreon, we have memberships with bonus content, or you can send a super chat while we're live. And thank you to those of you who hit me up on the Venmo, PayPal, Cash app. Otter, thank you very much for the PayPal I got. And I also checked, before we get started, I checked my P.O. box. So if you're looking to ever send me anything, or you have a business and you want me to try your products or anything, feel free to send it to my P.O. box. The address is in the description of the video. I received 2 wonderful gifts at my P.O. box. So shout out to Goldie. I'm stunned. She sent me Converse with, remember back in the, I don't know how long ago it was, but she asked me for my shoe size. And surprisingly, that's not the first person that's ever asked me about my feet or my shoe size. I do have a very high foot score on Feet Finder. I think that's what the site's called. I didn't submit my own feet. I'm not too proud to pimp out my own feet, and I might do that in the future. I don't know. But people say they like my feet. So she sent me size 9, these wonderful Converse. You guys, they're producer Tilly Converse. They're custom Converse. You know I love a platform, plantar fasciitis. Hello, welcome to the 40s. And RIP producer Tilly, who we miss each and every day. How cute are these shoes? So one of the shoes says Tilly, and the other one says producer. And shout out to Goldie. She said, so that producer Tilly could always be with me. But how cool, how rad are these freaking shoes? I cannot wait to wear them on stage, all over the place. Not to the dog park, though, because I don't want them to get dirty and smell like urine. But this is so thoughtful, and it's so sweet. And Chell checked my P.O. box for me and picked up my stuff, and I hadn't opened up my boxes, and they were sitting on my desk. And I was blown away. So thank you so much for these amazing custom Converse that will always have me remembering a sweet baby producer Tilly. I know, Witness, isn't that cool? It's so thoughtful. So Goldie, thank you so much. You're amazing. I appreciate you. That is such a thoughtful gift, beyond generous. I cannot wait to just wear the crap out of my producer Tilly kitty They're just so cute. And I don't deserve it, but I thank you so much. That is, I just keep looking at them and I'm like, it's unbelievable. That is unbelievable that someone would put that much thought and care into a gift. You guys always, continue to amaze me. I'm not worthy, but thank you. Yeah, it's super cute, super duper cute, super dope, so thoughtful, all the good stuff. So hopefully you're here, Goldie, or you're watching on the replay, crew. Thank you. Also, our friends at shiaskin.com sent me their luxurious luminous silk body oil, which I used today after my bath. As you can see, my hair is still wet and it is so good. You guys, we talk about Shia Skin. They're a small company, woman-owned company. I am obsessed with, if you know me, you know, the grapefruit avocado chapstick. I have one of these in basically every room, wherever I, because I always got to be hydrating my lips. This is such a great, if you're not like a lip gloss gal and you just want to like protect your lips and have them feel good and also like taste and smell good. This is a wonderful product, the grapefruit avocado lip balm, and all that is plant-based beauty, which we love. I don't always take good care of my skin, but when shiaskin.com sends me, when Shia Skin and Shia Skincare, when they send me stuff, I know that my skin is being taken care of. All right. And I genuinely love their products and they just feel good. They're made out of good stuff. So let me just drop their link in the chat for you guys if you're interested in supporting, especially now more than ever, women, small businesses, women in business. I love it. So I just put it in the chat here and you can just go to shiaskin.com, SHIA skin.com. And as you can see, pulled right up here is the grapefruit avocado moisturizing balm. And this stuff will last you so long. This is just, it's so good. I'll probably be putting it on during the live. You guys know how I do. It's either this, my Lip Esteem, or Laneige. I'm always, look at how, I gotta make myself like this. Treat yourself. And it just, oh my God. It smells good. It tastes good. I'm telling you though, this that they sent me, I love it. Luminous Silk Body Oil. It kind of smells similar to the chapstick, you guys. And it has all things like sunflower oil, like things that you can actually pronounce. Real things, I should say. Oh, and it says for best results, apply Luminous Silk Body Oil out of or at the end of the shower. Oh, I gotta try that. Like while I'm still damp. Well, I did it after the tub while I'm still damp. Hopefully, it feels really good. I'll put it all over. So definitely check out shiaskin.com. Shout out to them. All right, let's get started. Thank you guys so much. Checking my PO box is always so fun, and it justifies then when I go and pay for it every 6 months that like, oh no, it's worth it. I get cool shit. All right. I'm like, oh, it tastes so good. Everything tastes so good. Smash the like. Yes, please. Graphics. Support graphics designers. Support all the fun businesses. Graphics. Drop a link to your storefront, your Michael's storefront, so that everyone can go support small businesses, support women in business who make really cool shit that makes the world go round. Okay. Instead of, me buying everything off Amazon, it's nice to have nice small businesses and woman-run small businesses that we can support is amazing. Okay, so hopefully everybody's doing fantastic. Like I said today, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's get right into it. And I uploaded a couple videos. So let's see, where are my Traitors fans? Do you guys want to start with, I'll let you guys pick, dealer's choice, since my keyboard is acting up. Do you want to have a Erika Jane video about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, or do you want to start with the Traitors? So you guys put it in the comment section, and whoever, last time I wouldn't let you. That is crazy. I'll drop it, or maybe one of the mods wouldn't mind dropping it. But what do you want to start with? Erika Jane and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, or do you want to start with the Traitors?
Where's Meredith Marks when I need her?
The rumors, the nastiness, the rumors, the nastiness. You want me to go there with her husband? I can go there. You can leave.
You can leave, you guys. Thank you, Kelly Sandy Ford, for the first super chat of the live. Appreciate you so very much. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Traitors, 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 traitors. It's all about the traitors, you guys. Okay. Well, I am happy to report that Hype Man Husband Chell is caught up on this season of Traitors. He binged it yesterday while we were hanging out, and he was cooking dinner, and we finished episode 4 last night right before we went to bed. So I got to rewatch all the episodes, and there are things that I noticed in these episodes that I did not notice the first time around. So I want to talk about that. But first, I want to talk about some of the traitors and ex-traitors who are talking about this game and the moves being made. And first and foremost, we're going to go to Miss Sari. So Sari from Survivor, shout out to Sari. Thank you, Chickenhead PK Neely. Happy MLK Day, 100% all day, every day. Martin Luther King, happy day. Celebrate everything that man stands for and stood for, and the legacy that continues to unite us rather than divide us at this crazy time in American history. So thank you for that. So Sari from Survivor and also Big Brother is the best in the US. I mean, I can't say because I haven't seen the other countries and their traitors, but she is the best to play the game that we've ever seen. So good. And so she has been watching and kind of giving some feedback on her Instagram as to how she thinks some of the players are playing. And so let's take a listen to what Sari has to say after getting caught up with all 4 Traitors season 3 episodes.
I have to say,
give me a thumbs up in the chat the minute you guys hear the audio on this also.
Oh, I have to say so long to our fallen comrade, Bob the Drag Queen. Damn, Bob, they got you. But I like how you went out like a G. You took it like a G. You was like, it's all game. I like that. Now, oh, Danielle, you just made it by the hair on my chinny chin chin. Y'all can't see them, but it's a couple of them there. I'm going to pluck them later. Don't worry about it. Damn, Danny. But y'all know who going down next, right? You cannot be so adamant. And Wes, my hat's off to you, bro. Wes picked up on it. Like, how can you be so adamant, so positive that Bob the Drag Queen was a traitor? The only way you could say matter-of-factly anything in life is if you know for sure. And the only way to know for sure about a traitor is to be one. It takes one to know one. So it's looking dicey for your boy B-Rob. I don't know. Carolyn is doing a great job. Carolyn ain't nobody, your name ain't in nobody's mouth, at least that they showed us anyway. So I don't know. Carolyn might be the MVP right now.
All right. So Sari loving Carolyn's gameplay and calling out Boston Rhob a little bit like, hey, and I will say this is as much as, we see this move, Boston
is looking dicey for your boy.
Utilizing other players, mainly Dylan Efron, to get Bob the Drag Queen out after Bob the Drag Queen made the horrible mistake of mentioning that one of the 3 new guys, being Derek, Wes, or Boston Rhob, his fellow traitor, should put their head on a statue in the last challenge to get a shield, because people most likely think one of them coming in is a traitor. And that immediately, like Rob would say, that put the sauce on me. Bob put the sauce on me. So once Boston Rhob heard that, he immediately went into Boston Rhob mode and was like, okay, I need to get people on board to take a shot at Bob the drag queen because he has put my name out there. Now, upon the first watch of me watching Boston Rhob, do his magic, rob it out, if you will, I was like, okay, yeah, he's Boston robbing. But watching the round table a second time, Bob even went into the round table. I'm sorry, Boston Rhob went into the round table saying, he's hoping he needs other people to kind of lead this charge, similar to with Tony. He didn't have to lead a charge against Tony, but he could definitely add on to it. Now, Tony picked up on what he was doing and was like, you a sellout, bro. You a sellout. You a sellout, bro. But Boston Rhob went way too heavy-handed on this. And we saw at the end of the last episode, Wes pointing out to Tom Sandoval, who was like, what? That was like amazing. Anything that guy says, Boston Rhob, I'm going to believe. I'm going to be like taking notes. And Wes is like, well, the only way for sure if a traitor's a traitor. And Tom Sandoval's like, yeah, exactly. He's like, no, how do you know? He's like, if he's a traitor? He's like, yeah. And so I think watching it back with Hype Man Husband Chell, I was able to see like, whoa, Boston Rhob pushed that so hard. And that'll be a huge detriment to his game. Because a lot of you were asking me in the chat during the watch party and even during my recap, which if you missed it, definitely check those out. If I thought Boston Rhob was going to be the next to go. And I was like, I don't know. But now I think he's going to be, if not this week, next week, because he pushed it so hard. I really wish he would have been able to, for himself, maneuver it in a way where he was having other people do the pressing. I mean, he put his whole game out there. He said he knew for sure. And that's something you'd never catch Cirie doing. You will never catch Cirie. And some people find this frustrating watching Cirie play these games, but this is what makes her so great, is she knows you can't be the star of the show you're going to win. That seldom happens, Dr. Will. You know what I mean? You have to kind of sit back. You have to be good enough socially where other people are saying the things that ultimately are the best for you, but you've made them believe they're also the best for them without you having to put yourself in the front and driving the bus. And Boston Rhob was driving that bus. He was way too heavy-handed. As fun as it was to watch, he's toast. He's done. That's it. There is no way he can come back from that with gamers like Wes clocking it that quickly and with just being that heavy-handed. And so that makes me think in the long run, maybe Bob is like, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. That's why it probably would have been best for Boston Rhob to wait on this and let this at least for another week, maybe, before he turned on Bob the drag queen. Because it was too messy. He was messy. For as Rhob as it was messy. Messy. Where Carolyn, I think she is a little more like a Cirie, like questioning things like, well, is the obvious play really the play we want to make? Are you sure we can't use some of these people as shields? Like, she's going to think about it the same way she doesn't want to play 20 steps ahead, like some of the more aggressive players like Boston Rhob or even with Danielle or Bob the drag queen in the turret. Carolyn seems to sit back and think a little more, take her time, if you will. And that isn't always appreciated by the other traders. So thank you, Brandy. Brandy says, I'm rooting for Wes as a fellow ginger. Well, Wes, we'll see if Wes acts on it. We'll see if Wes is able to, get other people to kind of act on that. We'll see what information gets back to Boston Rhob. We'll see. But it really, the first watch, I guess I was just so enthralled by it all that I didn't realize how heavy-handed that Boston Rhob was being and how kind of unnecessarily heavy-handed he was being. Because yes, Bob the drag queen implicated him, put some sus on him 100%, but it wasn't a straight attack on just Boston Rhob himself. There could have been a pause. There could have been a little bit of time before he made that move and gave the traitors, or the faithfuls, I should say, some traitors blood. Also, what I didn't notice is upon leaving, another nail in the coffin for Boston Rob coming up, and there's no way he's going to win this game now, is the fact that when Bob the drag queen was leaving, he made it a point to get in the heads, which we've seen a lot of great traders do in the past, is you leave, oh, you're going to get me out, you're going to turn on me, traders, I'm going to put some sus on you on my way out. Because they can't, the rules of the game, he can't outwardly say, hey, I know I'm a traitor because Rob's a traitor and Danielle's a traitor and Carolyn's a traitor. So instead, he implied and basically said that most importantly, the traitors are afraid of me. The people who are most afraid of me are the traitors. And I was like, oh, say that again. And I'm paraphrasing, but the way Bob the drag queen said that, I was like, oh shit, that just puts more sus. I have to say sus now because like now Boston Rob has added that into my lingo, and so now that's just how I'm thinking 24/7. It's like, they put the sus on me. Okay, let me see if I can find it here. Okay, let's see. So Rob kind of being the hero in that situation was not, Boston Rob taking all the credit was not a good idea. He should have definitely pushed that. And I feel like a Boston Rob of the past would do that. He would put it on the people he was working with. Like, no, it was more them. But this time, not so much. So Bob the drag queen says, more than anyone, the traitors are afraid of me, as he looked over at Boston Rob. The traitors are afraid of me. The traitors are afraid of me. Ooh. And want me out of this game. So that he already had an iconic exit with the like, I swear to God. And God, and they're all like, oh, and he's like, no, I don't believe in God. So boop, bye. Like, I am a traitor. Not only that, but it just added to his iconic exits, like Dreadful Ruby said. Yeah, we saw Dan drop the ball last season, and now we're kind of seeing Rob. And it's so crazy because Boston Rob had been saying, and I was really impressed and surprised at how Boston Rob was, even when they wanted to throw Carolyn into the coffin, or when people were coming at Bob the drag queen the week before, he was like, us traitors, we got to stick together. We got to stick together as traitors. If they come for one of us, they come for all of us. But how quickly that one thing that Bob the drag queen said, and granted it was, not a good move by Bob the drag queen, but not something I think needed immediate action. Looking at it and watching the episode again, if anything, Boston Rob did more harm to his game and people outing him as a traitor by getting rid of Bob the drag queen in such an aggressive and out front manner of like, I guarantee it, like the Men's Warehouse. If I'm wrong, you can vote me out next time. Like you were too sure. You should never be that sure. And again, one lady that would never be that sure, and that's why she's won this game, is Cirie. Cirie she would never play that heavy-handedly because she knows that is a recipe for getting banished or murdered or voted out on Big Brother or Survivor. So maybe he should have contacted Cirie for a couple of little tips. No shade to Boston Rob. No offense, all offense, Boston Rob. You keep it entertaining every time you're on. But Evelyn says, I want Wes and Derek to make big moves against Boston Rob. That would be fun. We'll see. I mean, Derek right now, he seems to be playing similar to how he played in Big Brother, which is, making friends with everybody. Kind of, I'm not that big of a threat. But then he'll probably say it was on purpose, but he headed down the path of accusing Sierra and being like, as a homicide detective, okay, I don't know why I sound like a Kennedy here, but if you swear, you're probably a murderer. And we're like, well, sorry, Derek. What are you talking about, Derek? What are you talking about? Murder. Red Wolf says Boston Rob is a good player, but he may have just sealed his exit out the door. Hi, my husband, Chow. I told him you caught up with all 4 episodes. Yeah. Very exciting stuff.
Not enough Tom Sandoval.
Not enough Tom Sandoval?
Yeah, I really need to see more.
What do you need to see more of him?
He's
being an
carrying the
idiot?
show.
He's carrying the show.
And they're not giving him,
See, Dave doesn't even agree with you. Dave is pissed.
No,
Dave Dog is
Dave
pissed.
is a big Boston Rob fan. But Tom, like, obviously he's getting not enough camera time. And I'd like to point out the fact that when Alan Cummings was like, "No, Tom, don't stay here. Go away."
Oh my God.
Gold.
Gold.
That was the highest rated part of the show.
When Alan told Tom, go,
Yeah.
Tom. And Tom's like, ugh. Like he didn't know where to go. He's sweating.
And
He's got
also
pink
when he
eye.
licks his lips when he's
Oh, yeah.
about to talk. Yeah. Second highest rated part of the show. And then the Boston Rob going after Bob the drag queen, probably like in the lower third highest rated part of the show.
You thought it was more iconic to watch Tom Sandoval. You guys, I have a theory. And then Sam Spears, who won me over, said, maybe you should drink some water.
Oh yeah. See, I'm glad you agree.
Yeah,
And,
totally.
you
Okay.
know,
You
I
can
just-
go pick up my Midol from Target.
Yeah, and that's where I'm headed right now. I just want to let you know.
All right.
But I'm gonna meet up with Tom. We're gonna hang out. for
Oh
a little
my
bit. He's
God.
gonna teach me how to talk to women, and
Okay, you're grounded. No PS5. No PS5. You're done. You go to your timeout corner. Pick up my Midol, please, sir. Will you take these shoes with you so the dogs don't
I
chew
can't
them?
wear them. They're not my size.
I know. That's the beauty of it. They're my size. They're just my size. Hype Man Husband Chill, everybody, with the worst takes on the show. Bringing Dudes for Kenny back in 2025. Now Dudes for Sandoval. I think he has pink eye. Like, I think Tom Sandoval, something's going on with his eyes. He's sweating profusely. He's got cotton mouth. He's like, yeah, child, go get the Midol before we all die, Then they'll dip out. Yeah, then they're going to dip out. So, but I was glad to have Chell get caught up, even though he's, very, the cult of Tom. I have to keep getting him out of the cult of Tom every day. I have to talk him out of that. So now let's talk about Carolyn's podcast, which I didn't even know Carolyn had a podcast. Apologies. No offense, all offense. I'm loving Carolyn this season. And she has a podcast with another little guy. And I think he must have been on the Survivor season she was on, which I have to watch that season. If someone doesn't mind putting it in the chat again, what season 40, who that Carolyn did, because I have never seen her season, but I'm loving her on Traitors. And I agree with Suri. I'm loving her as a traitor. And all the things. You guys were right about that when you said, Joleen, you're going to love Carolyn. And I was like, will I? And then to find out she's also Minnesotan and she's also ADHD and she's just pretty great. Even Hype Man Husband Shaw was like, oh yeah. He's like, I think you would kind of play like Carolyn. I'm like, probably. But Carolyn has a podcast, and I think it's called Traitors or something, with this cute little guy. And they had none other than the Queen Stays Queen herself, Sandra Diaz-Twine, who was on last season of Traitors and was so iconic.
I'm 74. I didn't think Larsa and I were born in the same age because she looks like at least 10 to 12 years older than me.
God, I love Sandra and her braces and she even talked about her retainer lisp in this interview. We're going to watch a little clip from Chickenhead PK Dorkface Neely. Thank you so much for the super chat. Love Chell, right? Everybody loves Chell. Even when he's wrong, he's still so right, but go get my Midol. Okay. So give me a thumbs up in the chat as soon as you can hear this. Here is a clip from the Traitors, which you can find on YouTube and anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can find their latest episode with Sandra.
And you have to believe in yourself, and you do. And that's why you're doing such a great job, because I don't know, did you practice being a traitor?
Girl, yeah, yes.
She had that cloak on. I mean, she
I
wouldn't.
was manifesting. So no, it's been great. So whatever. So any shit you want to talk about, anyone?
Huh?
Who's bugging you? Who's your favorite? Who's bugging you?
From the cast? Who's bugging me? Probably Sandoval. Tom?
Oh, really? I'm shocked. Really?
I feel like...
Oh my God, Sandra, one of us. I was so happy to hear Sandra be like, who's bugging me? Oh, definitely Tom Sandoval. Definitely Tom, of course. I wish Sandra would have been on a season with him, because he would have been on Sandra's season, because she would have had the best little diaries about him. She would have read him right in front of his face, and it would have been so great.
Who's bugging me? Probably Sandoval. Tom?
Oh, really? I'm shocked. Really?
I feel like like he commands attention and then it takes him a whole minute to speak, or he doesn't like like what he's saying, and then when he comes out with who he suspects is just out of thin air, like there's no substance behind it. But to each his own,
I like how he keeps voting for like some random person. No
I
one
love
else
the
is
shit talking by Wes, by Brittany, by Danielle, like anybody who says like the craziest stuff. I just love when they talk a bunch of smack. I love it. For you, it's more like they're affecting your game. It's more like, like I can't believe Jeremy's gone, and now next week we got a highlight of you not being happy with Boston Rob. I got my retainer in my mouth, so that's why my words is, But anyway,
I loved it. I got my retainer in my mouth. That's why my words. I thought she was at least 50 years older than me. Okay, Sandra and her retainer is like the best thing. It's my favorite cast member. That of last season is Sandra's braces, Sandra's retainer, everything.
I couldn't wait for you guys to get to the turret and give it to him because he was smiling, and was he smiling or
he was happy. He thought he was going to get like applause.
But he didn't have no choice. I get where he's coming from and why he did it, but it was early, but not for him because Bob did set him up.
Yeah,
absolutely. To do that blind could you argue, like I said, with the coffin thing, like Rob, like where are you going to tell me that they wanted to put me in the coffin? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's they clearly were, because everybody is going to think.
When did you find out about the coffin?
After the show.
Oh, like watching it as a viewer?
No, after from Boston Rob.
After
taping.
Okay, after taping. Well, but he didn't want to worry you with bullshit because it would have probably started a whole thing. Be honest, wouldn't it? It would have sent you spiraling, and then you probably would have wanted revenge. But in other words, we don't know. He could have saved you from spiraling and thinking like, oh, now they're setting me up too. Right now you're still like wholesome. You're still,
he can control me, and yeah.
I don't feel like he's controlling you. I just feel like you're outnumbered because it's like them against you. Well, now Bob's not there, so now it's Danielle on her own too.
Well, it will be very interesting to see where things end up. Thank you so much, Sandra, for joining us to discuss this episode. This has been so much fun.
You're the best traitor out there.
Yeah.
Are you just saying that because there is like some like survivor?
Girl, you don't have no heat on you.
None.
There's
none.
No one suspects you. And now that they're on to Boston Rob, thanks to Wes, once he goes home, they won't suspect any survivors.
Yep.
Because 2 have already been murdered. They finally got the survivor out. Now I set my eyes on the Big Brother people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then I go to the gamers. But yeah, okay, Carson. So you were saying goodbye to me.
Well, it's more that we're going to take a break. But
I love how Sandra's kind of just like leading this interview to, okay, Carson, you were going to say goodbye to me. Goodbye. But Carolyn, seriously, you're the best survivor out there. He's so good. No one's got any heat on you. No heat on you. Okay. And I know what I'm talking about. This is actually a really good episode. If you guys haven't listened to it, the Traitors podcast, Carolyn and her co-host, I need to learn his name, this cutie patootie, and having Sandra on. And we know Sandra, her and Rhob are really good friends. So we played the clip last week where she said that she would have for sure went and she would have shaked Alan's hand and let Rhob into the game. She would have never left him up in that bird cage, she said. And she would have gotten rid of one of the Richie Rich housewives, whoever had a fur coat on. And she would have been like, okay, all right, yep. Let's see what's going on here. Get ready, you. She said Dorinda, and she would have played with Boston Rob. So, Sandra, a little biased in that, Rob is her friend, and they, she would play with him, but she was like, I wouldn't have got rid of any of the survivors. And apparently, Sandra was, she told Carolyn before Carolyn went on the show that there's no way Carolyn would ever be a traitor. She would be a faithful. And so they talked a lot about that this episode. And she also taught Carolyn, or reminded her, if Carolyn didn't know this, that to remain quiet, not to talk too much. So Carolyn will say at the end here, when I'm quiet at the round tables and things, you can thank Sandra for that.
But we wanted to, yes, we are saying goodbye. But thank you, Sandra. I'm sure we are going to have you back at some point when Carolyn can get, another opportunity to tell you about how you thought that she was going to be for sure faithful, and she actually was a traitor. So
I'll never forget that day. But no, like,
but that's already over.
It's already over.
we
Yes.
dealt with it. But no, you like when you see me quiet at the round table, you're like, thank you to Sandra.
Yeah. Thanks, Sandra. Okay.
Thanks, Sandra. I always like to thank Sandra. Thank you, Sandra. We should just thank Sandra like every day. I want to thank Sandra. Queen stays queen. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Sandra Diaz-Twine. Thank you, Thomas. Yes, his name is Carson. He's a little cutie patootie. I'm gonna have to watch season 44 of Survivor. And no way. Anna says, after I'm just praising him, didn't Carson steal a bunch of Survivor game designs from small shops and start selling them himself? That's all I really. Oh my goodness, I'll have to look into that. I didn't know anything about the guy, so we'll have to. I'll look into that. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's a different Carson. But it was a great episode. It's always a good interview when you talk to iconic gamers like Sandra, like Suri. It's always going to be very entertaining because not only are they, strategically super smart, but they're also very entertaining characters, which make them, a big reason why they're, what is on your back, girl? Icons. What the heck is on her back? Look at it. Producer in training, Cordelia, and going, what crustacean what dropped on you? Okay. We'll have to take a look at that after the fact. So a great episode. If you're looking for some extra Traitors content, take a look at Carolyn's podcast and this episode with Sandra. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Yes. Thank you. You're welcome. We always need a good little cleanse of Denise Richards. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Now, most importantly, I wanted to get this uploaded before, but I realized it came out right before I went live. Shout out to Graphics for sending it to me. We have the next, I wonder, I just don't want them to strike me. So I'm very, NBC Universal is so weird. Even when you're providing commentary about their stuff, they can be very strange. So now we have, so we're only going to listen to the audio of this, but the Traitors US revealed. So episode 3 of the spoilers. Okay. So spoiler alert. Episode 3 with Jeremy and Bob the Drag Queen has come out on Peacock. And so we get their reactions. The last one we saw was with Chanel Ian and with Tony. And before that, it was so it was Tony, and then it was Wells and Dorinda. So now we have Jeremy and Bob the Drag Queen. So we will talk, or we'll listen to the audio. I'm gonna just of it since I didn't download it myself and I don't want them to strike me. So we're just going to listen to the audio of them as they talk about what happened this week in episode 4 of the Traitors. Or last week, I should say.
Not only was I done, son, I did get murdered in style. All right, first of all, I have to get in the coffin. I'm like, yo, I don't want to get in that coffin. I'm not trying to die today. Not only was I shocked, but when Alan called my name, I heard all the players gasp and like Jeremy's picked. There's no honor among thieves. I really found that out. Being a traitor from the beginning is the hardest.
So Jeremy's like, oh, he was meted by the Traitors, and obviously Bob the Drag Queen was banished. So now we have Bob the Drag Queen saying there's no honor amongst thieves.
But I wanted it. All the Traitors voted against me. Every single one of them. My plan was to just sit this round table out, and then rhob goes in hard. You saw 2 people loving to play a game against each other. That's what you were saying with me and Boston Rob. I really like the way Boston Rob plays the game because he's having fun. He's almost as theatrical as me. When he turned ahead to me, he goes, "That's Bob." It was so masterful. I think he was just.
That's what we talked about when Boston Rob goes, Bob the Drag Queen, Bob. And we were like, did he just say it? It was so, the way he said it, Bob. It was Bob the Drag Queen. And I really like how Bob the Drag Queen is, like Suri said, just taking this like a G. Like he respects Rob's game. He respects his showmanship in the game. And so I love that about Bob the Drag Queen.
Having fun and that it was never personal. I don't think he cared that I called him a little bitch. I don't think he gives a fuck, to be honest. What I do in Survivor is I'm the guy that will talk to everybody. I'm not a huge threat. I'm not scheming all over the place. Tony's like erratic and like he hears his name and he's running towards it right away to try to put out that fire. And I'm not like that. People are always saying I'm a threat. So sometimes I pull back because I'm like, yo, like, come off the gas a little bit, you know? Jeremy, him and Tony were playing a selfish game where they weren't letting anyone in to their circle. You can't be in your little group. When you're in your group, people get suspicious of you. What the fuck are y'all talking about in there? Why are you closing doors? Why are you not telling us nothing? Why are you not sharing names? But his intuitions were good. He was on to Danielle. He was probably on to me. Jeremy doesn't know that I know this coffin, and I can't wait to tell him. I always...
Bob says, Jeremy doesn't know I nailed his coffin, and I can't wait to tell him. That is so Bob the Drag Queen. Okay, let's take a look at this iconic scene that Bob the Drag Queen is talking about, where Boston Rhob tells him that it's you. He turns to him and we see the handshake and everything. He's like, it's Bob the Drag Queen. It's Bob. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Let me know if you can't.
Since I got here, there's been one person who has been quarterbacking this entire show that has the love and admiration of many people. And I believe that person is the person that's a traitor. Ask yourselves who, every time there's a decision, there's a deflection.
Hi, Angie. Here comes the head turn. Head turn of all head turns.
Bob, the drag queen.
Bob. Robin's face. Bob, the drag queen. The handshake is just everything from Bob, the drag queen. Bob. Bob.
The drag queen.
The drag. Oh my God, so good.
If I'm gonna get banished, you're gonna get the show of a lifetime. If I wasn't this man in arguments, I was ripping them to shreds. I'm always insulting. Ask Gabby. Gabby is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. There were so many times
I love Gabby.
Talking about cute boys or who has the most money. Bob Harper said something. He goes, I've been in the queer scene for a long time. I said, a lot longer than me.
We need the Bob the Drag Queen reads. I think some of the audience, maybe, I did see some people getting kind of upset with things that Bob the Drag Queen was saying, but it's like, no, we need some of these. Maybe it's because I watch Housewives. You know, we need these good reads, and so funny. I love it.
I was ripping them up. Ivor's horrible at this game. He just walking around drinking tea. Maybe he just wanted to watch the Traitors in real time. He didn't want to play. He just wanted to watch. He wanted the closest seat you can get, which honestly, iconic. Sierra, I feel is 100% traitor. I believe Sierra's the next one out. When we plead to the traitors not to murder us, she's not pleading to the traitors. She says, we're going to find you. Dylan, I feel he's 93% traitor. I feel like he's a traitor.
It's crazy how right Jeremy can be about Danielle and how wrong he can be when it comes to Sierra and when it comes to Dylan. This game, that's how crazy this game is, because Jeremy 100% from the jump on, like, knew Danielle, but did not know Bob the Drag Queen. And one of my favorite scenes is when Tony, Jeremy decides to tell Bob the Drag Queen, like, you know, they're saying your name. And then when Bob the Drag Queen leaves, he's like, don't say anything. And Bob the Drag Queen says, I'm going to go confront Dylan. And then Tony looks at him and goes, well, Jay, what are you doing, Jay? What are you doing, Jay? What are you doing? In that Tony voice that is just so great. Jay, what are you doing? What are you doing, Jay? Like, Jay, you're getting messy. What is going on there? And then Tony ends up being the one that is banished.
When Tony was ousted, Dylan's walking down the hall smiling at me, and he says, we lost a brother or something like that. And I'm like, why are you smiling? This dude is loving this right now. And Danielle, who I thought was a traitor for a while, I'm probably 75% sure she's a traitor. Those are the three that I'm pretty sure of. Oh my God. Why am I nervous, Jeremy? Get it together, dude. Woo.
Okay, I think they're seeing who the traitors are now. They give them the list, showing who the traitors are, so we can get their reactions.
Danielle, yo, I'm so good. I felt it. I saw it. Oh man! You don't know how many times I'm sitting at the round table, and I was just like, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and I never did. Sometimes you just gotta go hard. I pull back so much. I'm so bummed. The tears I cried for Danielle were real. That one hurt me the most. I saw my mom and her, and I told her that she's my.
Oh, Bob the drag queen is really feeling upset about the Danielle vote because he sees his mom and her, which is Danielle old enough to be Bob the drag queen's mom? I mean, what is she, only 52? I mean, 54? I guess she has a grandma. But I guess I'm like, no, she's not, because then that makes me older. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Cry for Danielle were real. That one hurt me the most. I saw my mom and her, and I told her that she's my ride or die, that I would never turn on her, ever. She's the only person I said that to in the house.
Bob the drag queen did at the breakfast when Gabby was like, you guys, or Robin said, you guys, we got to talk about what happened in the bookshelf room, the secret room. Gabby, go ahead. And Gabby's like, yeah, I saw some people going in. I want to know who went into the bookshelf room, because I heard some people and I feel like it's traitors. You would have to go somewhere and convene. And I think that's where you guys went. And in that moment, Danielle says, well, me and Dylan went in the secret bookcase room. And then Bob the drag queen comes right in to save the day for Danielle and be like, well, lots of us did because the new guys hadn't seen it. So pretty much everybody went in that dang room. And so Bob the drag queen was 100% down for Danielle. And I think Danielle was 100% down for Bob the drag queen. But in this instance, she felt like if she didn't vote for Bob the drag queen, I think she thought it would look bad on her part. I still feel like there's a way she could have gotten away with not voting for Bob the drag queen, because there were votes out there for other people. But she made the decision she made. And I was like, don't do it, Danielle. But it seems like Bob definitely is feeling a little emotional.
My plan was to bring Gabby all the way to the finale and then let Danielle beat her. That was my plan. How beautiful and poetic would that have been? We weren't able to do it. She turned on me. I don't blame her. It's how she plays the game. I just wouldn't play like that. Carolyn is a traitor? I actually said,
Jeremy goes, Carolyn is a traitor?
No way she's a traitor, because she would just say, I'm a traitor. I pulled Carolyn in, and I had a really close heart-to-heart with her and said, you're a special soul. Don't let anyone change you. Be who you are. Carolyn's crushing it. Carolyn's going to win the show. No one's going to suspect her. Carolyn's just going to oopie-doopie-doop to the end of the game, and then she's going to win. Rob's a traitor.
I don't think she oopie-doopie-doop. I think people are really downplaying Carolyn, and I feel this in my ADHD soul and bones, just because she's playing a little different. And maybe this is me internalizing this as a criticism and being hyper aware of that and being too sensitive. But I hate that narrative that just because you may, discuss things, differently, or might not come off as a type A personality, or it doesn't look like what you think organized looks like, or what you think a leader looks like. They're just like, she's a oopie doopie doop. And it's like, she's not a oopie doopie doop. Okay. I think is she an Aquarius? Well, anyways, she's ADHD. She's a little bit obviously eccentric in things, and the way, her, the way she delivers her message, I totally get that. I totally understand that. But when you make that sound like oopie doopie doop, I feel like that is, and again, it could just be my hypersensitivity to this, of me being judged for that in the past, but it downplays her intelligence. I think it downplays the strategy she's coming in with. And I think we with ADHD or people who are neurodivergent, we end up doing that and becoming so self-deprecating because we get that feedback. Like, are you here? Hello, you're in the clouds. Where's your brain? And it's like, my brain is in more places than you could ever imagine, or your brain is capable of going to. Okay, so that's really what I want to say to you. While you think I'm in oopie doop land and I'm off in the stars, no, I am just so progressed in my brain activity that you're not on the same planet as me, because you're not elevated to the level I'm on, which is another level. Okay. I'm literally listening to my teeth right now. Okay. You don't know about this life. No. But I hate that sort of like, she's like, oopie doopie doop. It's like, no, she's not oopie doopie doop. Like, doo doo doo.
But why is Rob taking out another survivor, like another threat? We had issues in Survivor, but like I thought we were fine. Boston Rob, we're not a team. We're colleagues. It's like we were doing a tug of war, and I was wearing socks on marble, and he was wearing tennis shoes on gravel. That was the tug of war we were playing. Bob the drag queen is a traitor. Wow.
Jeremy did not expect Bob the drag queen to be a traitor. He was adamant that Bob was not a traitor.
Yo, why did they go after me? I felt like Bob was an ally for me. I felt like we were good. I felt like I had something with him. I know he didn't want me murdered. He knew I was with him. Bob the drag queen, the first day he comes in to breakfast, he doesn't even look at the board, and he just starts talking without looking. And I said, Bob's a traitor. And then the more I talked to Bob, I was like, oh, Bob, that's just Bob. Bob doesn't stop talking. Bob's strength and weakness is his mouth. Like, he'll talk you out of something, and then he'll keep talking, and then talk you back into it because he doesn't stop talking.
I think, yeah, like that is part of Carolyn's, her gameplay, because if people, a lot of it in these games is their perception of you. Perception is kind of everything, how you present and what people perceive that as. So she could definitely lean into that. But it's like Bob the drag queen, her, like, now that she's a traitor. And so I wish he would have, this is just my personal preference, I wish he would have described it a little better than like a calculated goofiness, a calculated aloofness, like something. Then she's just like gonna do through it till the end. That's how I took it. But again, I could be just being hypersensitive to that, and I understand that.
He's playing well, though. That's pretty good. I'm very quick-witted. I'm very cutting with my words. I can dismantle your argument really, really fast right in front of you. I can make you question yourself. I'm really, really good at that. And when I can't do that, I just deflect with humor. The person that's going to go the farthest is Carolyn. Nobody suspects Carolyn to be a traitor. Dylan was really high on Bob the drag queen. I think Bob the drag queen is going to get himself in trouble. I think he's going to run his mouth a little bit too much.
Jeremy called it about Bob the drag queen. It's funny, Jeremy has such good reads on so many, but then he had some horrible reads on some.
Oh, jeez.
Now they're going to meet so that Jeremy can see who was banished after him.
Feeling like you're with a girlfriend or boyfriend and their phone's there, and
yes,
you want to know what's on that phone, but you don't really want to know what's on that phone.
Yes.
Oh, gee, Jeremy. Oh my God. Did you think I was Carolyn? Oh my God. Oh my God. They got me. Oh, they got me.
He's like, they got me.
I played with a lot of fire. I decided to play the hardest game I could possibly play, and it got me in the end. You know what I mean? Your name came up, and I said, yo, Bob's the most talented person here. He could fool everybody. How did you get caught? We went to the round table, and I wasn't talking at all. And then Rob straight out said, Bob the drag queen is a traitor. Wow. Everyone, it's showtime. I said, Rob, I was yelling. I said, when a big dog sits down, the little bitch stands up. And everyone was like,
That was so funny when he said, when the big dog sits down, the little bitch stands up. Allie B says he's not saying it as insult. He's goofy himself too. He reads his co-host, reads everyone and himself. I have ASD and ADHD, and I totally get, that's why I said I'm probably being hypersensitive. Thank you for sharing that, Allie, to it. And I'm probably the one that is just taking it a certain way that Bob the drag queen, I don't know what he intended. I just know that, I'm probably just being sensitive to it because of my own experience with that. And, Carolyn, she's super smart. And so she knows what she's doing and she knows how she presents. And, but the strategy is there.
Like, I didn't even want to put out Danielle's name, right? Yeah. And I'm sitting there like it's driving me crazy. I'm like, I'm just going to say it. Danielle. I said, just believe me. Was that the reason why you guys went after me?
That's why. I told Danielle that you said her name.
Damn it.
But then she ended up turning on me.
No.
She voted against me in the end.
So I figured Danielle was a traitor, but
I wish that Bob the drag queen didn't think that Danielle turned on him in the end, because she didn't want to. She felt pushed, like she didn't know how hard Rob was pushing for Bob the drag queen. But Bob the drag queen will watch and he'll see.
Didn't think she had the power. There's 4 traitors and 2 of them are survivors.
And I felt like we were good.
I agree with you.
Yeah, so one person was able to sway to get me out.
Danielle was the one who really wanted you, and she seemed so convicted in getting you out.
What was the reason they have me, Nikki, and Sierra?
Danielle chose you because I told her that you said her name.
Okay.
Carolyn wanted Nikki, and then I think Sierra just got thrown in there at random. I think it was just random. If it was my choice, who?
Poor Sierra, because now there was so much sus on her. And after Derek Levasseur, aka Daddy Derek, was like, when you use your words to swear a lot, usually it's because you're guilty. And she's like, I'm not fucking a traitor. And even Dolores said, no, she talks like that. And I think Dylan Efron said, no, the first word she said when I met her was a swear, But Daddy Derek was like listen to the Congress people about TikTok, just a little out of his league on that one.
Who we would have murdered, it would have been Sierra, but I didn't really have any skin in the game.
And so whose choice was it?
Danielle.
Can't believe rhob didn't try to save me either.
Why would he protect you?
The survivors need to stick together because of the whole gamers type thing.
Y'all don't play the same game. Rhob ain't loyal to nobody. He's in it just for the spirit of the game. Every murder, every banishment, every accusation, there is no feeling. He's completely detached. And I was almost completely detached, except for Danielle. And I would have been better off if I had not been. He has.
It would have been better off for me if you hadn't been.
True. And I was the one who actually put the nail in your coffin. That was my hands.
Was it really?
Yeah, that was me.
Bob the Drag was like, and Jeremy's like,
in my personal opinion, Carolyn's probably, if a traitor's going to win, it's going to be Carolyn.
That's what I said.
And if a faithful's going to win, it's going to be Dylan. Because he actually has really good insight. But anyway, you don't want to compare my makeup?
Hey, you want me to talk about how good your makeup looks, and you just murdered me. Is this what we're doing?
Killer makeup.
Yeah, I like these little breakdowns they're doing where they have the banished and the murdered people, and they bring them together and they kind of talk about what happened and what they think and reveal themselves, and the traitors are revealed to them in a letter. So it's very interesting. I think it's a great little addition to a bonus treat for the show. I wish they would do more of this kind of stuff. We need a Traitors after show. Okay. Same way we need a Big Brother after show. I need someone to sit down with these people. I need it to be like, where's the ESPN for this shit? I want this broken down like it's after the foosball game, and we don't have that. I also would love, because Sandra was mentioning on Carolyn's podcast that these roundtables can be like an hour or longer. They can be pretty long. And so I would love to see like the extended roundtable segments. I think they would get so many views off of that. I feel like, Traitors is already such a highly rated show on Peacock. It's an Emmy Award winning show now, and give the people what they want. Feed us a little bit more. I would love an extended cut. I want to see more of what happened at the roundtable, because if these roundtables are longer than that, like show us some uncut stuff, just like they do with the Housewives when the next day they put out the shows, or most of the Bravo shows, and they will be longer. And they got swears in them and all that kind of stuff. So they got to do more. Cassie Face says Bob the Drag Queen for Traitors All Stars, or literally any show. Oh my God, Bob the Drag Queen would be so amazing in Celebrity Big Brother. I would be so happy. He's now going to be on all my lists if we ever get a Celebrity Big Brother again, which I think they said the only time we would get one was if they had to compete with the Olympics or something, when the Olympics were on, if I remember correctly. So when is the next Winter Olympics? I'm like, what? Next Winter Olympics. Let's see. February 6th, next year. So maybe next year we'll get one. Because that, I remember them specifically mentioning maybe when there's the Olympics. But I would love to see Bob the Drag Queen on a Celebrity Big Brother. That would be amazing. I wonder if he would do it, because I know he's booked and busy and doing all kinds of things. And that might be quite an amount of time he would have to devote to that show. I think what are they in there for? At least a couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. So yes, Cassie says extended and unrated roundtable on Peacock. That's what they need. They don't already have that, and I just don't know, right, Cassie? Or Casey, sorry. Right, Casey? An after show would be amazing. All these shows, like, I don't understand. They're missing so much opportunity for more ad revenue to make more money. I mean, these shows are very popular and we want to talk about it after the fact. That's why people head over to YouTube and find people that watch it, so like we're doing right here, but then we can talk about the stuff we have from the after show. And if they need a host, I mean, I'm more than willing to, I guess, not volunteer my time. I mean, you have to pay me, but I guess I could throw my name out there. Sarah says Robin is in the lead for the most loud and wrong person. Rewatching the episodes yesterday with Hype Man Husband Chell, I was laughing so hard at how wrong. It's like wrong and wronger Robin but for me, at least she's giving us something. You know what I mean? But she's so adamantly, like she is very confidently wrong. Like, I know it's that person. Like when she was so wrong about, was it Sierra or was it Nikki? When she was like, well, Nikki's number one on my list. And she's telling the other Bambis, Gabby and Chriselle, or is it Chriselle? She's telling them, no, it's Nikki's like at the top of my list. She's definitely a traitor. And they're like, and Gabby's like, I mean, I know we're biased because we hang out with Nikki, but I really don't think it's Nikki. Right? I'm loving Robin for like the comedic aspect of it. She does not know what she's talking about, but I feel like she's really giving it her all, despite being wrong and wronger. Okay. And thank God. Yeah. I am so glad Juan Dixon is not here right now. So Linda said, I wish they would show more Brittany. No idea why they're giving Gabby so much airtime. Well, I love Gabby and I love Brittany Haynes. I think Brittany's starting to get more time. And I think we'll see more from her as the show goes on. But I think Gabby is just very funny. And she's also really smart. Gabby, I know Danielle said, all Gabby does is walk around and look good. But Gabby's reads are actually pretty great. But I agree with you. I don't think they're utilizing Brittany enough in like kind of DR settings and like that, because she's so funny. She's like, I don't want to be the duck. I want to murder the duck. I want to kill the duck. That's what I want to do. Casey says Robin owns her wrongness, and she's so funny with how loud and wrong she is. I'm like, Robin, are you winning me over again, little Robin? Yes. I think she is. Janine says, I was really wishing Dorinda and Dolores were going to give Tom Sandoval a piece of my mind for being a cheater. No, it's people. But the funny thing about Tom Sandoval is people are roasting him right to his face and he has no idea. You guys, even Sam Spears is like, maybe he needs some water. So many people. When Chriselle said at the round table in episode 2, or I forget what episode it was now, when she was like, I'm voting for Tom Sandoval because traitors have to know how to be like liars and cheaters and stealers. And obviously Tom possesses all those qualities. I was like, I love the Bambis. I did not know that I needed the Bambis in my life, but I definitely need them in my life. So more traitors. But on that second watch through of the episodes, I was able to see just how much a Boston Rhob put himself, basically set himself up to be there's no way he's getting very far in this game. And we'll see in this week's episode what the faithfuls do with the information that Wes kind of presented to them at the bar, and that Tom Sandoval was like, what are you talking about? DGF, thank you so much. We're at like 131. We have almost 250 people watching. So smash that like, see if we can get 250 likes. Let's see. Yeah, didn't know I needed the Bambis till I had them. They're great. They're freaking great. So yeah, Sandy Butt there's never going to be a good show for him, Linda. But I love that we can just laugh at him. Unfortunately for Sandoval, we're laughing at you, sir. Okay, let's take a look at Erika Jayne. She did a interview, speaking of possibly not self-aware. Erika Jayne from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is having the season where, she's not the villain. Okay. She's not the star of the season, but she's definitely there to, in my opinion, exact her revenge on Sutton especially, Erika Jayne never forgot the way Sutton and Garcelle questioned her when she was going through all the stuff with Tom Girardi and him defrauding his clients as a lawyer who were the victims of horrendous things, that he was supposed to be getting justice for them, and really he was stealing their money, and Erika's involvement or lack thereof. So now she takes every opportunity she can to kind of dig in on Sutton and possibly Garcelle. So let's listen to what she said with this. I think maybe Access Hollywood, one of the networks here. She's talking, or Us Weekly. Sorry, she's talking to.
Agree with Sutton at all when she said that Dorit is mad at her life and not mad at.
Well, of course,
Sutton.
and Dorit took ownership
Sure,
of that.
yeah.
She said 100%, but we're also mad at Sutton too. Because Sutton likes to kick a dog when they're down.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Mhm.
I don't think anybody looking at this, without bias, would say anything different.
Mhm.
They're like,
Yeah.
we see this.
Right, because I mean, you kind of say this this past.
Okay, put it in the chat. Do you guys agree with Erika that Sutton likes to kick a dog while they're down? Now, I don't know how down Erika Jayne was. I still am like, I feel like a lot of Erika's problems were caused by herself, by her attitude surrounding the whole thing, by her attitude towards the victims, by her going, honey, I don't give a fuck about anybody else but me. All right. About her own selfishness. Now we do see Sutton, coming after Dorit this season, and Dorit definitely is down, and she's been very open about that. But Erika, I feel like she's still her own worst enemy in that situation. She made it 1,000 times worse for herself, the whole situation, the way she behaved.
This past episode too, that you kind of see through the whole sisterhood.
I never bought into the sisterhood because you have to lead by example. It's great to say things, but then you got to do it, and you can't do it once. It has to be consistent, and it wasn't. And it's a lot of nice words, but you have to lead.
Yeah.
You have to put into action.
Do you consider Sutton a friend?
Sometimes I consider her more so. I consider us to be on friendly ground more so now than ever.
Well, it was a long road to get there.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I enjoy Sutton when she's her bubbly, kind, fun self. I do not enjoy her when she's, mean.
Yeah. Boz kind of says in this episode, or she does say in this episode, that.
Did she call her Boz?
She can't figure out if Sutton is delusional or mean and calculated. What box would you put her in?
Both.
Both.
I think that there are times when Sutton is mean, and then I think there are times when she's just, herself.
Yeah.
And we can all be a
So
little.
right there, Erika. Oh my God, I gotta hear that one more time.
In this episode, or she does say in this episode, that she can't figure out if Sutton is delusional or mean and calculated. What box would you put her in?
Both.
Both.
I think that there are times when
Erika said both. There was a vice versa, Erika. See, the questions that Sutton was asking during Erika's ordeal and the Tom Girardi situation were questions we all were asking. We all wanted to know. So I don't think she was really kicking Erika when she was down. I don't see it as that because I appreciated her and Garcelle questioning, but obviously Erika is going to see it as kicking her while she was down, because I didn't want the ladies to make excuses for Erika. I wanted Erika to answer for herself.
Times when Sutton is mean, and then I think there are times when she's just, herself.
Yeah.
And we can all be a little delusional. And we're all eccentric in our own ways, and we can all be petty. But there are times when we've all been mean to each other.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep. Just like the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Maybe they got to pull out the phones and read their meanest text messages about each other. I'm still not recovered from that Salt Lake City finale game that Heather Gay had them playing.
Bronwyn seems nice. I like her business plan, marrying a guy who has 1 foot in the grave. Oh, she's already crying. And 1 on a banana peel. But I like mine better. I'd rather be self-made. She's nice, but she doesn't listen. Because her ears are stitched down to her face so tight, she can't hear anything. She wears a hot dog to outfit to remind us she sucked her way to the top. Okay.
Not sucked her way to the top. I don't even think the Todd father likes blowjobs. Like, I think he's just like, nah, I just want someone to listen to me. Like, I just don't see the Todd father as sexual. Anna says, Erika, Dorit, and Kyle accused Sutton of being an alcoholic and having an eating disorder last season and just expected Sutton to get over it. Yeah. And nope. Witness says Sutton has a good chaos name, not gonna lie. Or chaos game, sorry. It is true. Janine says Kyle wants to accuse Sutton of drinking too much, but heaven forbid Kyle would come out with her truth. Yeah, Kyle is so good at calling other people out, but sharing anything going on in her life or being accountable, she struggles with that. Witnesses reading nasty texts aloud is never the way to mend things. No, I would never be I would never be okay with any of these women on any of the things they said, except for maybe Brittany's. If she was like, I wanted to invite someone else over instead of Joleen for tea, I would have just replied like Mary Cosby, like, oh yeah, that 100% sounds good, because I don't want to go to your house for tea. So I agree with that. Not paid by anyone says, vile Kyle. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Angie should be a roast master at this point. Angie's text was crazy. I do love myself some Angie K, but those texts, if she was Bronwyn handled it like a champ. Bronwyn was like, well, you shared how you felt, which, I'm just gonna tell you, Todd would agree that is the right thing to do, is to play, you gotta, open up and admit when you're wrong. That's what Todd would do. So I appreciate that she did that. Okay. Because I regularly hear things from people and then run back, and talk shit over here and then go tattletale. That's kind of, it's kind of my MO. But Bronwyn was more proud. Like, she was proud of Angie K, and Angie K's like, oh God, hearing this text out loud is just not great. Because when you say something that's mean about someone and I think that's like, it means you're like a good human. If you say text something mean about someone, but if you say something mean about someone and then they repeat it back to you and you see how that affects them, you're not going to like that unless you really dislike that person. But most of us, if you say something out of anger and then it's repeated when you're no longer angry, when you have a little bit of space from it and you have more perspective and you hear it again, you're going to go, oh God, I'm so sorry. That sounds horrible. And you have to hear that person react to it. You're going to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said it like that. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's rough, having to hear all that information back again. Okay. Let's see. I can't believe we're already at an hour, you guys. Let me jump in the comments and see what you guys are saying. Thank you. I'm working on my Bronwyn and I have to listen to her more, but she's just very much like, okay. I don't know if she realizes how it'd be hard to have a conversation with her. You'd be like, girl, it's coming off some type of way. I just hope they stop having Heather Gay as the narrator. I don't think they're going to stop that anytime soon. Janine says, I've heard Meredith's podcast. It should be her husband's podcast with Meredith as the guest. She hardly talks. Well, we know he loves to hear himself talk, allegedly. That's pretty clear. Anna says, Bronwyn inspired some of Angie K's best work. She should be proud, really. DGF said Angie K's text was an 80s Joan Rivers style. I mean, it really was. The banana peel, the ears stapled down. I even had to be like, what's that even really mean? What's really going on there? And I did, you guys sent me a little bit of, or you sent me the links, because we talked about how, in the extended episode, Heather Gay was really coming for Up and Adam, and talking about this podcaster and everyone. You should be ashamed, Meredith, that Up and Adam has your phone number, any of these, and he kind of put Up and Adam in the same category as Reality Monteith, which I don't think is necessarily fair because Up and Adam is a blogger. That's his job. And he shows his face and you can see his whole name, and it's not done under the guise of anonymity. He puts himself out there. It's the same as like Us Weekly or Page Six or any of those publications. As much as I don't like when the bloggers get too involved in the show, but I think these housewives are such hypocrites because they love to put a blogger or a podcaster, they'd love to think they have them in their pocket. You know, if you meet some of these Bravo people, sometimes you're like, what do they, and especially if they're, you know, you're talking about someone who has a big following, someone who, you know, has a lot of eyes on them. A lot of times these Bravo celebrities will want to befriend them or maybe give them a little something, you know, whether it's like time or an interview or information or friendship, hoping that they'll be able to maybe spread information about their fellow cast members or get good reviews of their shows, you know, of themselves, I should say. And so maybe certain stories the blogger won't feel comfortable talking about and reporting on, because it is difficult if you feel like you're friends with someone or close with someone it's very difficult to then report on that. It's like a conflict of interest, the same way when I do like roasts and comedy, it's difficult if I know the person, if they're like, you know, I guess you can roast up your own friends and things, but if you have some kind of like relationship with them, it makes it a little harder to do, you know. Yeah, they threw Up and Adam under the bus, but you guys were sending me Up and Adam's video he did with Taste of Reality, and I was watching that earlier today, and him kind of, you know, explaining that we were hoping that Adam was going to reveal these receipts from Whitney, but he said he's going to wait until he sees what Whitney said at the reunion, because if he releases these receipts, then, you know, future Bravo celebrities will be like, oh, Adam's the type that will show our communications, and it could hurt him business wise, which I totally understand. But we'll see what Whitney does. So I think he's going to play it by ear. But I'm like, you mentioned it, so now I want to see these receipts. I want to see these text messages that Whitney claims where Adam said it was 100% Lisa Barlow who had been feeding stories. Meanwhile, Dana Wilkie, the $25,000 sunglass lady who, no offense, all offense, but I don't really trust her that much. But she's coming for Heather Gay, and this might be a story. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. This might be one that I believe a little more than I would usually believe Dana Wilkie. But Dana Wilkie exposed Heather Gay for feeding, this according to Taste of Reality, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City gossip to her blog. So Dana Wilkie claims she has proof, receipts, timelines, screenshots, effing everything that Heather Gay was the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star feeding gossip to her blog. Dana's allegations about Heather on the season 5 finale of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Heather gave a Mean Girls coded speech about how the group needs to stop using bloggers to bring each other down, but they all do it and they all need to admit it. Dana, $25,000 sunglasses, Wilkie, said it was Heather who spilled the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City tea to her blog, dishing drama with Dana all along. Is that the name of it? Jeez Louise, that is too long. It's a horrible name. No offense, all offense. That game they were playing to throw me under the bus, and the way they did Adam from Up and Adam, YouTube's Up and Adam, really got me. I'm smarter than that. I'm in the Housewives world, I'm in the Housewives world for a long time. I know how it operates. So I was like, no, I'm not going to play this game. I'm going to change it up. So now I'm going to tell you a big secret. The Patreon's paid subscribers teased Dana before dropping her bombshell that Heather Gay was in the Patreon for many, many years, enjoying the gossip and the content on all the housewives across the franchises. But most importantly, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast members. Let's face it, my gossip is pretty damn juicy in there. Is it? Are you guys in it? I don't know what gossip Dana ever has, but okay. No offense, all offense. Try watching that scene. Heather Gay is the gossiper who's been spilling all the negative tea. Dana forewarned her listeners. See how you stomach it. Okay, is she playing it here? Okay.
Like game that they were
Okay, how do I rewind this?
Playing to throw me under the bus in the way that they kind of did Adam. Ooh, that really got me because I'm smarter than that. I've been in the Housewives racket for a long time. I know how it operates. So I was like, no, I'm not going to play this game. I'm going to change it up. And so now I'm going to tell you a big secret, which the Patreons know, which is Heather Gay was in the Patreon
you guys can hear
for
that, right?
many, many years, enjoying the gossip and content on all the Housewives across the franchises, but most importantly, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast members. Because let's face it, my gossip is pretty damn juicy in there. So try watching that scene, Heather Gay as the gossiper that's been spilling all the negative tea, and see how you stomach it. Okay, see how that works out for you.
Well, we need to see the actual proof. I believe that Heather would do that. I 100% believe that Heather would do that. I feel like Heather, she does strike me, obviously, out the gate on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She was an early favorite for a lot of us because she was so just kind of herself. She was so different. She was someone that you could relate to on the Housewives, which isn't something you can say often. And it was in a nice way. And then as time went on, it just seemed like Heather really wanted the approval of the Lisa Barlows, of the Merediths, of the Jen Shaws, and was willing to do just about anything for that approval or to be a part of that cool girls club. And then that got kind of gross. And I think the way she throws Whitney under the bus, whether you like Whitney or not, Heather bullies Whitney. And I mean, it's pretty apparent. It's not that fun to watch, because she thinks she's better. She needs someone to kick and keep down because she doesn't want to be the lowest chick in the group or feel that she is, So we already knew they all submitted, like Anna's saying, to Reality Von Tease. This isn't new news, but it wouldn't surprise me if she was in the Patreon, but does she have actual proof? So Taste of Reality says, I couldn't help but wonder if Dana releases proof receipts, timeline screenshots that show it was in fact Heather who leaked stories to bloggers. Will anyone refuse to film with her the way she refused to film with Monica Garcia? Never forget that Monica accused Heather of spearheading the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast in getting Monica fired. Do you believe Heather was leaking? I mean, I think we all would put that as Heather being capable of doing that. And like Anna said, I mean, she's already been accused of that. Right? Come on, Wilkie. It's always I can just make up stuff and sit here and go, you guys, I think this, I can read, which we have before, blind from Demois, and we can speculate and stuff. But if you really say you have the receipts, then show us the damn receipts. Not Paid by Anyone says she was quoting Vanderpump when she was telling Whitney, we are good. She was. Trish says, I have a love-hate thing going with Heather. She is kind of full of herself, though. Well, that's what Mary Cosby told her, and Mary Cosby would know, Janine says Heather's black eye it still says we still don't have the full story on the black eye. I still don't understand the black eye situation. She waited so long to put that information out. There's too much secrecy going on around something that clearly happened while they were filming. Graphic says, I feel like Heather is jealous of how easy it was for Whitney to fully leave the church, and Heather just can't do it. That could be. She was too close to Jen Shaw, and it was just not, I just don't want Jen Shaw back. Pamela says, I like Up and Adam too. Random check-in, LOL, still working. Hi, Pamela. Hopefully your day goes by so quickly. Care Bear says, Heather knows Whitney over and over again. She hates her, or shows Whitney over and over again. She hates her. She really does. Remember when Lisa was telling Eileen, are we good? Oh, you want Jen Shaw back to no Jen Shaw. She defrauds the elderly. Sadly, I think she will be coming back because her sentence keeps being reduced And now it's looking like 2026, but she'll probably get out before 2026. And some of the housewives, there's like speculation that some of the housewives are going to, or maybe were filmed or are going to be filmed, going to visit her. So I think they're going to slowly start to reintroduce us to Jen Shah, which is such a bummer because Monica's the evil one. She's so evil and horrible, but Jen Shah can come back. It's like, what? Okay. All right. That doesn't really make any sense, but there we are. Oh, I will almost guarantee they're going to bring her back. I also heard when I was listening to Up and Adam and Taste of Reality that he said that Heather Gay is filming a show at her beauty lab, kind of like a Vanderpump Rules style Southern hospitality, where it's going to be allegedly around the staff within Beauty Lab. So will you guys watch it? I can't say that I won't check it out because, I mean, Salt Lake City is really killing it right now. The Mormons are just all the rage. You know, you got The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. You got Sold on SLC, which I haven't watched. You have The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So a lot of things happening over in Utah. Yeah, it was like Meredith and maybe Whitney. I don't remember. But yeah, apparently she has her own spinoff. Very interesting. Receipts. Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. I'm not gonna be a complete hater, but there are times now where I'm like, Heather, I don't know, Heather. We'll see, you guys. But we're already at an hour and a half. So I am going to bid you guys all a fond farewell for the day. But I will be back tomorrow at 11:30 Pacific for another No Offense, All Offense, where we'll get into more trouble. We'll get into more fun, more laughs, more all of the things. I'm shout out to all my super chatters today: Kelly, Sandy Ford, Chickenhead, PK, Darkface, Neely, Brandy, and Otter. Thank you so much for letting me know that Carolyn is Survivor 44. I have to put that in my head. Survivor 44. Thank you, guys. I hope you are taking care of yourselves. Put on some comfy clothes. Get yourself a little treat. Graphics, thank you for being a member for 16 months. Thanks for the laughs today. I tried to share the link, but I didn't. Oh, didn't think. Let me share the link here. Graphics. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to June Baby Creative Design. So, oops. Don't want to put it in and get out of here. Again, shout out to Shia Skin. ShiaSkin.com. Shout out to the wonderful Goldie. Thank you so much for my custom Converse in memory of producer Tilly. That is incredibly sweet. And then go support all the small businesses and our wonderful graphics designer here. You can support over on June Baby Creative Designs. They have a Michael's marketplace storefront and they have amazing things. Go treat yourself to something from Shia Skin or June Baby or both. And like I always say, you guys, remember to enjoy yourself because it's later than you think. Bye.